Executive Director of Wilmington and Western Railroad. We have a very special occasion today. We're marking a couple of milestones in the railroad's history and also in our equipment's history.
Thank you, David. Welcome to everybody. I'm not going to take up a lot of time because there's a lot of people that can talk better than I can. But I just want to make one note for you to think about. If you look at 58 here, it's 100 years old. If you look at myself, as you get older, you get a little bit drabbier, a little bit down into the ground, lose a little bit of hair and everything. But 58 looks like the day she came off on the first run on the rail. And it's a tribute to the people, to the volunteers of the Wilmington and Western Railroad, to everybody that's helped. It just looks magnificent, as well as these cars. You guys have a nice day, and I'll turn it back to David. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Honored veterans and military representatives, ladies and gentlemen, history has proved that the struggle for freedom and peace is ongoing, and war is always present in some form somewhere in the world as we speak. History has also proved that brave men and women are willing to defend the rights and values for their family, their loved ones, and their countrymen. I'd like to recognize a special veteran who is not here today, and that is Sergeant Henry Dickinson. Sergeant Henry Dickinson and I go way back. He introduced me to the Wilmington and Western Railroad and was a great supporter, and unfortunately passed away 3 weeks ago. Little has been said about the significant roles played by the machinery during the war. These machineries produced the services and materials that enabled our fighting men and women to win the battles. Here we are today celebrating the 100th birthday of 58. This powerful locomotive was built in Philadelphia by the Baldwin Locomotive Company in October of 1907. It was built for the Atlanta, Birmingham, and Atlantic Railroad, which later went on to become the Atlantic Coast Line. This locomotive operated on various railroads and served the people of the United States during World War I, World War II, Korea, and even during the early part of the Vietnam conflict. And of course, it's ironic that she's serving the public today during the Iraq War. 58 was retired from active duty in about 1960 and was last used in the yard of a railroad equipment company, the Meade Corporation. Later, an old friend of mine, Mr. Malcolm Ottinger of Phoenixville, bought the locomotive because he knew that the Army had acquired the locomotive right at the end of World War II and totally rebuilt it. So I always claim it was driven by a little old engineer on Sundays from Pasadena. Anyway, Mr. Malcolm Ottinger's project fell through and I was able to convince him to sell the engine to me. I had high hopes of preserving it. Little did I know how well preserved it would become. Our association with the Wilmington and Western has been a long and rewarding experience for my wife and I, and we're proud to have the locomotive donated, restored, and dedicated to the U.S. and Allied veterans. It will run today, hauling peaceful passengers, and hopefully remind them that it was through the veterans that we're allowed to have the peace and prosperity that we have today. Happy birthday, 58. God bless America, and God bless our veterans.
90 years ago, armistice was signed in France ending World War I. That was in 1917, 90 years today. A year later, the war ended in January 1918. Then in 1938, they made this a national holiday, Armistice Day. Well, as time went on with World War II and Korea, they decided in 1954 to name it Veterans Day, honoring all veterans. So that's why we're all here today. And my father served in World War II. My two uncles served in World War II. One uncle, Jerry, he was 27 when he enlisted to serve with his two younger brothers. As I said, I served in Vietnam. I was activated for Desert Storm. I have a son who just got back from Afghanistan. and the daughter and I back. So thank you very much for today. Thank you.
We had hoped to have a gun salute today, but we're unable to secure one at this last minute. So in celebration of the day, we're going to have locomotive number 58 actually toot her own horn. For those of you who have sensitive ears, please be ready. Locomotive number 58, happy birthday.